पंच जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय। श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय। श्री प्रह्लाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Srimad Bhagavatam की जय। So we are reading from second canto, 10th chapter, shloka number 46. Ayam tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ ayam tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ ayam tu brahmaṇaḥ kalpa savikalpa udāhṛtaḥ vidhiḥ sādhāraṇo yatra sargāḥ prākṛta-vaikṛtāḥ Matajis. Ayam tu brahmaṇaḥ. Ayaṁ, this process of creation and annihilation. Tu, but, brahmaṇaḥ, of Brahmā, kalpaḥ, his one day, sa-vikalpaḥ, along with the duration of the universes, udāhṛtaḥ, exemplified, vidhiḥ, regulative principles, sādhāraṇaḥ, in summary, yatra, wherein, sargāḥ, creation, prākṛta, in the matter of material nature, vaikṛtāḥ, disbursement. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed. Purport. There are three different types of creation called mahā-kalpa, vikalpa and kalpa. In the mahā-kalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation as Kāraṇodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, with all the potencies of the mahat-tattva and the 16 principles of creative matter and instruments. The creative instruments are 11, the ingredients are 5, and all of them are product of mahat or materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in His feature of Kāraṇodakaśāyī Viṣṇu are called mahā-kalpa. The creation of Brahmā and dispersion of the material ingredients are called vikalpa. And the creation of Brahmā in each day of his life is called kalpa. Therefore, each day of Brahmā is called a kalpa. There are 30 kalpas in terms of Brahma's day. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad-gītā 8.17 as follows. Sahasrar yuga paryantam aharyat brahmaṇo vidhuḥ ratim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. In the upper planetary system, the duration of one complete day and night is equal to one complete year of this earth. This is accepted even by the modern scientists and attested by the astronauts. Similarly, in the region of higher planetary systems, the duration of day and night is still greater than in the heavenly planets. The 4 yugas are calculated in terms of the heavenly calendar and accordingly are 12,000 years in terms of the heavenly planets. This is called a divya yuga, and 1,000 divya yugas make one day of Brahmā. The creation during the day of Brahmā is called kalpa, and the creation of Brahmā is called vikalpa. When vikalpa are made possible by the breathing of Mahavishnu, this is called a mahā-kalpa. There are regular and systematic cycles of these mahā-kalpas, vikalpas and kalpas. In answer to Maharaj Parikshit's question about them, Shukadev Goswami answered in the Prabhasa Khanda of the Skanda Puran. They are as follows. Pratamah shvetakalpascha dvitiyo neelalohitaha vamadevas tritiyastu gato gathantaroparaha raurava panchamah proktaha shashta prana iti smritaha saptamotha brihat-kalpaḥ kandarpos ashtamochyute sadyotha navamah kalpa ईशानो दशमः स्मृतः ध्यान एकादशः प्रोक्तस् तथा सारस्वतोः परः त्रयोदश उदानस्तु गरुडोऽथ चतुर्दशः कौर्मः पंचदशो ज्ञेयः पौर्णमासी प्रजापतेः षोडशो नारसिंहस्तु समाधिस्तु ततोपरः आग्नेयो विष्णुजः सौरः सोमकल्पस्ततोपरः द्वाविंशो भावनः प्रोक्तः सुपुमान् इति चापरः वैकुण्ठश्चार्शिष्टस्तद्वत् वालीकल्पस्ततोपरः सप्तविंशोऽथ वैराजो गौरीकल्पस्तथापरः माहेश्वरस्तथा प्रोक्तस् त्रिपुरो यत्र घातितः पितृकल्पस्तथा चान्ते यः कुहुर्ब्रह्मणः स्मृता. Therefore the 30 kalpas of Brahma are 1. Shvetakalpa, Neelalohita, Vamadeva, Gathantara, Raurava, Prana, Brihat-kalpa, Kandarpa, Sadyotha, Ishana, Dhyana, Sarasvata, Udana, Garuda, Korma, Narasimha, Samadhi, Agneya, Vishnuja, Saura, Somakalpa, Bhavana, Supuma, Vaikuntha, Archisha, Valikalpa, Vairaja, Gaurikalpa, Maheshwara, Paitrikalpa. These are Brahma's days only, and he has to live months and years up to 100. So we can just imagine how many creations are there in kalpas only. Then again, there are vikalpas, which are generated by the breathing of Mahavishnu, as stated in Brahma Samhita. Yasyaika nishvasita kalam athavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanathaha. The Brahmas live only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu. So the exhaling and inhaling of Vishnu are mahā-kalpas, and all these are due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for no one else is the master of all creations. Om ajnānatimirandhasya jnānāñjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. The chapter's name is Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. Right? And being the Purana, one of the qualities of Purana is that it talks about the time duration of the entire universe. So here we are going through the aspects of mahā-kalpa, vikalpa and kalpa. Very big topic. Why do we need to even go through these things? What is the necessary? What's my practical use in my day-to-day life? Where am I even going to use all these things? Why is Bhagavatam spending the entire second canto on these kind of things? That's why this chapter is called Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. What we are trying to understand, I think with the exception of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, nobody explains the difference between who is Mahavishnu, who is Kāraṇodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, who is Kshirodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, how does the incarnations they come, nobody explains. For others, things are very, very simple. You have Srimad Narayan, he lives in Vaikunta, he appears as the 10 incarnations or all the incarnations. He is God, life is sorted. You perform devotional service unto him in whichever mood. It could be, how to say, your shanta, in which you are appreciating the Lord. It could be dasya, in which you are serving the Lord as a servant. The maximum you can go to sakhya, which is friendship, but it is, how to say, predominated by servantership. That's how you go. Hare Krishna, your life is set. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us achintya bheda abheda tattva, which means Krishna is simultaneously God and not God. We are simultaneously same as him but different from him. So how do we understand all this? So that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he very much focused on the Brahma Samhita, which very, very clearly makes the difference and explains who is Mahavishnu, Kāraṇodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, who is Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, who is Kshirodakaśāyī Viṣṇu, how do we make a difference? So then Bhagavatam is explaining all this as well. Right? So whatever creation done by Mahavishnu, by his breathing in and out, is called mahā-kalpa. It's a big, big kalpa, huge, humongous. Why? Because in that one breathing, Lord Brahma takes birth, the universe comes out, Lord Garbhodakaśāyī Viṣṇu comes inside the universe, fills it up half with the water, lies down. The lotus grows from his navel. Lord Brahma sits on it. He is meditating for some 1,000 years. Then he figures out that somebody is boss. He tells him what to do. He does the entire creation. Then he's there. He's working. In the day he goes to sleep. More than half of his creation is destroyed. He does the creation, he wakes up in the morning, does it again it's destroyed, again it's destroyed, like that. So many, 30 kalpas have taken appearance. One kalpa is 12,000 celestial years. Our 1 year is there 1 day. It's going on and on and on. And Lord Vishnu just went, finished. So that's a huge thing. Mahā-kalpa. So then we are understanding who is Lord Mahavishnu. Right? Then he is as Kāraṇodakaśāyī Viṣṇu. And that creation happens. That's a vikalpa. Then we understand that each day of Lord Brahmā, he has to work hard. 1,000 divya kalpas or divya yuga happens. 1,000 divya yugas happen in the day of Lord Brahmā. And his lifetime is just finished. And this Mahavishnu, who is breathing in and out, is considering Krishna as his superior. Just recently, we had the Purushottam month. In the Purushottam month, this particular, because there is a difference between the solar cycle and the lunar cycle. Now the difference between the solar and the lunar cycle makes, I think it's few days. I can't remember exactly how many it was, but it's a gap. It's a difference of few days. So over a period of 3 years, it adds up to 1 month. Now this 1 month is a completely extra month. When Lord Brahmā, he created, 12 months a year. This month, this is, this demigod is the predominating deity. This other month is this particular demigod who is the predominating deity. Then, he's doing all these things. And 3 years later, there is a, 30 days difference between the solar cycle and the lunar cycle. What happened? How we understand, we see there are tithis. Right? The tithis are the days of the moon. For example, Janmashtami every year doesn't fall on the same day. Every year it's different. Why? Because it's the calculation with the moon timings. Whereas your days, your January 1 is always going to be after December 31st. Why? Because it's the solar cycle. So it's always steady. Sun goes in the same motion. But the moon, being, the mind, the Lord of the mind, is very flickering. So sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's going backwards. It's doing all varieties of things. And that's why the tithis sometimes, we have this year, I think twice, we had Ekadashi, which was very, very difficult. Why? Because in Kolkata, the Ekadashi is today. But in Mayapur, the Ekadashi is tomorrow. The whole of India is having Ekadashi today, but Mayapur and northeastern states of India, they are celebrating Ekadashi tomorrow. Why? Because of one, few seconds difference in the sunrise. So the moon is doing a lot of funny things. And because of that, then there is this every 3 years, we get an extra month. So this extra month, no demigod is taking care. Nobody is responsible. So it's like an orphan. This orphan month, generally people don't think very high about orphans. You don't know who is your father, who is your mother. Nobody's taking care of you. They are roaming around unattended. They are creating a lot of mess in the community, in the society. So nobody likes them. Similarly, nobody liked this month. And they named him. He's an extra month. Adhika mas. So, they said, no performing any kind of religious activity in this month. It's dirty. It's, we don't want to deal with this. Now, the month is saying, the difference is between the sun and the moon. I am created. What is my fault? Somebody has to take responsibility of me. So I said, okay, let's talk to Lord Brahmā. He is the engineer behind the entire universe. Lord Brahma says, I don't know what to do. I actually don't know what to do in this situation. There's a technical fault. I don't know what to do. Let's go to the boss. So they all went to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu says, sorry, don't know what to do. But you are God. Yeah, but this is something beyond my jurisdiction. I can't do anything about it. So then Lord Vishnu then everybody's like, then what do we do? If Lord Vishnu, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, says, I can't do anything about it, what should we do? He says, oh, don't worry, there is somebody I have to report to. Right? And that is Lord Krishna. So then he takes all the demigods with Lord Brahma, this extra month, to Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is just beautifully sitting down under a tree and playing on his flute and enjoying life, herding the cows. And like, he's God? Yeah, he's my superior. But he's not doing anything of a God business. Yeah, that's why he is God, because he got to do nothing. Everybody works for him. Like, okay. So the Lord Vishnu says, oh, our master, please have mercy upon us. We are in a dilemma. We have to find a solution for this problem. And all the demigods are thinking, this is Lord Vishnu, whom we are praying to. And he's here with folded hands, bowing his head, praying to Krishna. And he's saying, you are our master. And he's going on and on. And then he says, Krishna is like, okay, what do you want me to do? Because there is this extra month. It's called Adhik Mas. Some people even titled it as Mala Mas. Mal means stool. This is so dirty, as bad as stool. Mala Mas. Don't do any religious activity. Don't do any pious activity in this month. What should we do with this? And Krishna, over there, he says, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I can do anything. Therefore, from today on, this Adhik Mas or the extra month should not be called as an extra month. Neither should it be called as the stool month, Mala Mas. I will give my name as Purushottam to this particular month. From now on, this month will be called Purushottam Mas. And you should not perform any kind of religious activity in this month. You will get absolutely zero benefit. But anybody who performs devotional service unto me shall receive bhakti at my lotus feet. So that's why even now, Purushottam month is banned. All the Brahmins are jobless. Why? Because you can't do any kind of, karma kanda. Nothing. 1 month holiday. Go to Maldives or something. 1 month, no work, no job. You can't do anything. But this is an opportunity that everybody takes to develop their bhakti unto Lord Krishna. Right? So that's why we had a very beautiful ceremony happening in the noon where Radha Madhava would come out, sit on the kalasha, we would worship them, chant the mantra, offer them flowers. It was a beautiful festival. With that, then our devotional service increases. So, coming back to the shloka, Mahavishnu, he just goes, and that's the entire duration of Lord Brahma's life, and all the universe is coming out of his body, going back into his body, everything is done. That Mahavishnu is feeling subordinate to Krishna. Our goal is to serve Krishna. And how much time do we have? One lifetime. Right? One lifetime is calculated as 100 years. But truly speaking, I think 60 years is considered as an average. Right? If you make it 60, you are doing good. You lived a full life. So we got 60 years. Now out of this 60 years, 20 years went into childhood and youth. We are left with 40 years. Out of this 40 years, what are we going to do? We spend about 8 hours sleeping. So that's 1/3 of the day. So out of 40 years, you take out 1/3, you're left with what? 28, 30 years like that. So we actually got only 30 years to be serious about. And at the end of Lord Brahma's life, it's not a guarantee that he's going back home, back to Godhead. It's not necessary. If he is a devotee, he understands this material world is not the right place for a living entity, then he will say, my Lord, please take me under your shelter. And he goes back to Godhead. Otherwise, if he goes and says, oh my dear Lord, thank you for giving us the opportunity of serving you in this manner. My life has come to an end. I request you to please give me this service again. Right? Shastra does mention, sometimes the Lord Brahma falls, he is very, very rigid about the karma kanda aspect of the Veda. Some Brahmas are in the jnana kanda aspect of the Veda, and only very few Brahmas are into the bhakti khanda aspect of the Veda. So those who are into bhakti, they may not go back to Godhead. Those who are into jnana and karma, they are definitely not going back to Godhead. In fact, Manu Maharaj, he describes that all of us sitting over here as human beings have once upon a time been Lord Brahmā. And we have been an amoeba as well. We have been through all the different species of life before getting the human form of life. That's why we got the 30 years. We got to get very, very serious. We have to be very, very, determined that we want to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. We have done it a million times. We take birth again, we die again. What to do? But if we actually want to become serious and want to go back to Godhead, call ourselves as a devotee, a Vaishnava, then we are serious about Krishna consciousness. Unless and until we are serious about Krishna consciousness, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says we are not even a devotee. How do we know we are serious about Krishna consciousness? We take initiation. We get bound by the instructions of the spiritual masters. We are following the regulative principles. We are chanting our japa. We are performing the sadhana. Doing all these things. Then we say, okay, now we are serious about Krishna consciousness. After being serious, Krishna says in Gita, that even after being serious, very few have a desire to come and approach me. Out of them, those who are serious about approaching Krishna, very, very few actually understand him. And out of those who actually understand him, very few make it back to Godhead. So we have a tough examination up ahead. And what do we have to do? Just one thing. Be sincere in our practice of devotional service. Sincere. Just before coming down here, I was speaking with Sri Jananivas Prabhu. And we were talking about having, festivals. Every day a festival in Sridham Mayapur. And it is coming, from Srila Prabhupada. Jananivas Prabhu, he said Srila Prabhupada was in Australia. And he said, I'm very much wanting to go back to Mayapur, which is vibrant with a festival every day. Said, it's vibrant with a festival every day. Yeah. So when we were doing the Go Puja in the morning, he was very happy. He said, this is very nice. It's very, enlivening. It's very nice. And he said this is making the Mayapur brighter every day. It's making more bright and bright. So what do we have to do? We are living in Sridham Mayapur. We just have to exist at the right time, at the right place. If we do that much sincerely, then we can easily go back home, back to Godhead. Because Mayapur is like Chintamani Dham. Right? Whatever you desire, you will get. You want Krishna Prema, you will get. You want the garbage of the material world, you will get. Right? Just you have to desire what exactly you want. Everything is available. Just a little bit outside the ISKCON campus. Anything you want. The dirt of the material world, you will have it. You want the bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, you will get it. So, understanding, the entire kalpa, vikalpa, mahā-kalpa, I don't know how many of us we understand. It's, we read it, we go through it, but, going inside our consciousness and we are actually understanding and trying to visualize, our existence is invisible. Right? When we were studying in school, one of the things they would show us, right, was the universe, the solar system. So then they would show, on the page, they say, oh, Jupiter, it's big like that. Right? Then they would show Saturn, which is smaller. Then they will show, different planets. And Earth is like that in comparison. And then they will say, there was like, this is where you are. An pointed arrow at a dot in comparison to the universe. Right? And all this, all these planets and everything, most of them, they get destroyed at the night of Lord Brahma. So our existence is actually very, 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 very minute. That's why to understand bhakti is the only way. Before coming to Mayapur, I spent 4 months in a Madhva Gurukul. Over there, they are very, very serious. Like, what's the pathway of going back to Godhead? You perform devotional service today, in this lifetime, you will go to the heavenly planets. You perform devotional service in the heavenly planets, you go to the higher planet. Like that, you continue doing your devotional service without a mistake, and you keep on going higher, 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 higher till you reach Lord Brahma. You're sitting there in Brahmaloka, and at the end of Lord Brahma's life, if he's going back to Godhead, you will all go with him. If he said, sorry, we want to continue doing our services in the material world, you're back to square one. Right? You got to start again. And interestingly, they said, so it will take you at least minimum 14 lifetimes to go back to Godhead. But then we are talking about the Brahmins, right? But then they will say, the Shudra outside the temple beating on the drum during Arati, if he performs bhakti, devotional service, in this very lifetime, he will go back home, back to Godhead. So I was like, I would rather be the Shudra outside beating on the drum rather than being a Brahman who's helping, doing all the puja and everything, because I got at least 14 lifetimes before I can go back home, back to Godhead. And here, beating on the drum, singing the bhakti, bhajans, I can go immediately. So, but they say, no, our Acharya has given this process and that's what we are following. Good. Srila Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu, they are so kind enough that they gave us the process of bhakti. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, you can make it in this lifetime. Haribol! So, I can explain one more, there is one more pastime. I think it's Lomasha Rishi. He's a very hairy Rishi. Very hairy. And when one Indra dies, one hair falls off from his chest. And when all the hair will fall off from his chest, he will die. He's a very hairy Rishi. So, one day I think there was a spiritual discourse in the heavenly planets. And Indra makes a comment why do I have to do devotional service right now? I'm enjoying life, right? The entire heavenly, I'm the king of the universe. I have the heavenly planet, Nandan in the garden, the Apsaras, the Soma Rasa. Like, I'm doing good. I'll perform devotional service later. Now the fun part is, Lord Vamandev is there in the heavenly planets every day. He lives over there, and all the demigods go and perform the arati and puja to Vamandev every day. They are seeing the Lord in person. Still Indra is saying, I have time. I don't got to be serious right now. And then he's there, sitting on Airavata, going around, and he comes across Lomasha Rishi. And then he pays his obeisances to Lomasha Rishi, and he sees there is a patch of hair missing on his chest. So he understands, he knows, that this many Indra have died. There is a patch missing, on his chest. And he says, my dear Lomasha Rishi, you are constantly traveling around the universe, doing your tapasya and like that. Allow me to, create a bhajan kutir for you. You can live here in the Nandan gardens next to the lake. I will make a nice bhajan kutir for you. You can sit in the kutir. You can perform devotional service. Lomasha said, no, thank you. He said, no, please, allow me. I would like to do this seva. And then Lomasha said, you will make the kutir for me. Then I have to maintain it. And maintaining will take some time. And time is something that I don't have. So, that time it clicked to Indra, oh, if he is saying he doesn't have time to even create a kutir in which he can sit, maintain it a little bit and do his devotional service, that means I got to be serious. Right? So similarly, we should also somehow or other get realization. Rupa Goswami says, Yena kena prakarena manaha Krishna niveshaya. Do whatever you need to. But establish Krishna in the center of your heart. Then, doing that, then we can easily go through the whole thing. Bhagavatam explains what it is. In the very second canto, it's explaining this is the universe, this is what it takes, this is how it looks like, this is how long, this is how wide. We know all these things, understand all these things, continue studying. We go to the third canto, fourth canto, understand Dhruva Maharaj, understand the pastimes of the Pandavas, understand the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, come all the way up to the 10th canto, understand the bhakti done by the gopis, taught to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and go back home, back to Godhead, following the footsteps of the servants of the servants of the servants of the Lord of the gopis. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, Prabhu. There's one pastime where Prabhupada revealed how we could go back to home, back to Godhead in one lifetime. This was in the early days of the Juhu project, which I think all of us know was extremely challenging. And Prabhupada called Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who was very expert in his managerial shakti, getting things done. So he called Tamal Krishna Maharaj to come. And one day, Tamal Krishna Maharaj exclaimed to Srila Prabhupada, how can I think of Krishna? My mind is simply filled with temple finances. So Prabhupada responded by saying, yes, many lifetimes we've wasted on ourselves. If just in this one lifetime we can dedicate heart and soul to pushing on Lord Chaitanya's movement, then at the end, even if we're not perfect, Lord Chaitanya will personally come and take us back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bo.
And Harisari Prabhu, who spent a lot of time with Srila Prabhupada as a servant, told me that he heard Srila Prabhupada say this several times. And I had the good fortune of assisting my dear friend, Nirguna Prabhu, who we were Sankirtan partners for about 18 years. And he left his body here in Mayapur. And he was a classic example of someone that dedicated heart and soul to pushing on Lord Chaitanya's movement. And those that were present at the time of his departure had no question in their mind that he went back to the spiritual world. It was just, the room was just completely filled with ecstasy. And there was all these miracles that took place at that time, which I don't have time to speak about because we've got the 9 o'clock deadline coming up here. Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There's also, there is a shloka in Varaha Puran which is explaining, Krishna is saying that somebody who has dedicated his heart and soul throughout his life in serving me, then at the time of death, maybe due to physical challenge or mental disturbance or attachment to something, it could any reason, he's not able to think of me at the time of death. Seeing the endeavor he has made throughout the year in serving me, I still take him back to Godhead.
Giriraj Swami said that what happened with Nirguna, Giriraj Swami, he had a wealthy father who was a lawyer, and he established, primarily with that inheritance money from his father, the Vrindavan hospice, the hospice in Vrindavan. And he told me that what happened with Nirguna, he's aware of it happening with many devotees in the movement. And he wrote a book called, it's a compilation of different stories, and my story of Nirguna is in there. It's called Life's Final Exam, Death and Dying from a Vedic Perspective. But he says it's very, very normal for devotees that are very sincerely dedicated their lives for pushing on Lord Chaitanya's movement.
Thank you.
That's the Varaha Purana you were quoting?
Anybody has any other comment, question? Okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. I reiterate what His Grace Janmashtami Prabhu has said for a truly wonderful class. Because if we all become serious and sincere, we really can change the world. Prabhupada has come to create this spiritual revolution so that everyone can be happy. Sarve sukhino bhavantu. It's not just one person, to everyone. And so this flood of Krishna consciousness will happen only if each and everyone becomes serious and sincere. It's not possible for just, oh, it's the GBC's job, oh, it's the sannyasi's job, oh, the brahmachari. No, each and everyone. That means it begins with me. So if each of us takes this message very seriously, just think, everyone in this room, if everyone in this room decides, I'm going to be serious, I'm going to be sincere, what a difference it will make.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anything more? So we will end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madhavashtaki Vrinda Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Prahlad Narasimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hitai Gaur Premanande. And today is also the appearance day of Shri Narottam Das Thakur. Sorry, disappearance day.